If you recognize the phrase 8 CDs for a penny, I have generational news for you tonight. After 71 years and a transition from vinyl to tapes to CD, Columbia House is no more. They once had 16 million members, but streaming killed the mail order star. Last day for orders, September 15th.
Darkest day of my life. Darkest day of my life. I stole so many albums from them. I will be going to show business hell. Also, the RCA Record and Tape Club, which was their competitor, we used to mail them next door to our neighbors and then pick them up when the box showed up, so we weren't linked to the crime. And then when I did MTV Magazine, Bertelsmann Music Group had their own record and tape club, the same size as Columbia. And that was sold within the magazine. It's a negative option, obviously, is if you don't return the card, you get the CDs that they pick, or album of the month or whatever. But that's how my whole record collection got started.
I had a friend when I was growing up. He was a little more sophisticated about it. He got his mom to sign off, and he got a PO box.
Oh my God.
At the post office.
Right.
And then he was literally filling out using character names from television, like Remington Steele at box 123, Oracle Road. And
hey, you had to do what you had to do when you're 14. You know, your scams are limited.
Yeah, and he was kind of like, well, there's nothing they could do about it. I'm a minor anyway.
Right. I said the same thing. Yeah. What are you going to do? Put me in minor prison? So stealing records and tapes? They didn't even care. They looked at it like a lost leader. They didn't care. They were making money hand over fist. They were printing, they had the albums because it was Columbia Records.
Well, when I had a band back in the 90s, I don't want to go into that. I learned how cheap CDs actually are to produce. A compact disc costs far less money than a cassette, for example,
and both far less than vinyl.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was like, I think a CD cost them like a penny to 5 cents to make. It was just ridiculously low, and ironically so expensive to sell. It was almost the polar opposite.
Right.
They were printing money then. But
well, anyway, they're gone now.
And well, it's streaming because it's kind of like everybody's got a stupid subscription, so it's like, well, nobody's buying the CDs anymore.
Let me tell you something. Amazon Music will not stop soliciting me. I am never buying or signing up for Amazon Music, and they are non-stop, Eric, in their solicitations.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. That they're non-stop and just trying to get me to use their. They're like, you have Prime Video. You could listen to music here. I'm like,
right.
No, I'm not going to listen to. No.
Sorry.
Leave me alone. Stop. Just make your movies work. Stop doing stupid things. But,
I'm sure they listen to you.
Oh, of course. They're waiting for my call. I have a special phone number. You didn't know that? The
1-800
Amazon.
1-800 blow me.
That's right. That's
they're coming. The Spectrum people were coming after me because they heard me sipping coffee. So I now that's gone, they're coming after me for simply drinking without sound. This is driving them insane, that they're seeing and just yelling at the top of their lungs, no YouTubers do this, stop it. And I'm just going, wow, how crazy do you have? And it's all men. It's all men, by the way. I don't know why. It's all men, and they can't watch anyone drinking a beverage during the show.
Well, in order to bring the tradition back, because I do really miss the old days, can we get a little more ice in your cup, Mark?
It started with the ice in the cup. That's where the whole thing began. Then it went to slurping the coffee. Then it went to simply drinking out of this thing here. And then just going, what is wrong with you? Why do you have to keep drinking during the show? Why?
I'm so paranoid that I literally will pull the lid off before the show.
Yeah.
Because the squeaking sound,
Fuck
I
that.
know will
Fuck these
trigger people.
douchebags. Fuck these triggered douchebags. I do it even louder now on my show. I start the show by slurping fucking coffee. And I know there's somewhere they're going berserk.
We're hoping for that clip. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of going berserk, Fauci's got to be going a little bit berserk right now.
I don't know. What do you think?
The net is kind of closing. This has to help the attorney generals who are going after him. If now his aide is saying, pleading guilty, literally to hiding the ball for contracts and things of that sort, I can see that as being part of the arrangement. You're pleading now.
Well, I if they can flip the guy, you're assuming that they're flipping him, and that's when he becomes valuable. He's not valuable now unless they know already that he's flipping.
Well, he is.
Otherwise, he's
guilty.
just a guy. Yeah, no, okay. Well, he may just be pleading guilty.
He could be. He could be.
The question is, can they flip the guy?
But as soon as he's pleading guilty, again, I want that allocution I was talking about. I want all of his records. And if Fauci's on the other end of his records.
Right. I mean, this might be a misdemeanor. Why you're treating it like it's a kidnapping or something? He may be pleading guilty to misdemeanors and have no incentive to flip.
Well, okay. I mean,
unless he's facing 20 years in prison, I don't know. I don't know the story.
Well, it says right here, it's a felony punishable by 5 years.
Right. And he's never going to get 5 years. So, I mean, they could.
Well, he's 78. It's a death sentence.
Right. Right. I mean, they could say, we'll give you a year, I guess. But I mean, that's up to them. That's their tools. I encourage them to use them.
Well, I don't know. I'm happy to see people actually being convicted one way or the other for some of this. And that actually leads into the fact that we even have a sponsor, and this is directly on point because it's
Pfizer,
all about Fauci and fighting the results of what happened under his guidance, and the sponsor is Black Forest. When the vaccine mandates came down, thousands of people lost their careers. Just this past month, when Anthony Fauci sat in front of the Senate and was asked to apologize to our troops, he took the fifth 106 times.
So you won't apologize to the military members who Joe Biden summarily dismissed from the military for not taking the vaccine? Will you apologize to the family members of the people who died because they took your advice and not only got the first vaccine, but the 5-6 other boosters that they did not need?
Look, politics aside, in a study, researchers found the vaccine spike protein still circulating in half of vaccinated groups 6 months later. This is compared to the 0 in the unvaccinated. That spike protein damages artery walls and creates persistent microclots built from fibrin that standard blood thinners don't dissolve. Even Joe Rogan took a look at the research recently.
Yeah, that's it. Nattokinase supplementation can significantly reduce the size of existing arterial plaques and slow the progression of atherosclerosis, particularly at higher doses. Nattokinase and arterial plaque reduction. Multiple clinical trials provide evidence that nattokinase, an enzyme derived from fermented Japanese food natto, has a positive effect on arteriosclerosis, hardening and narrowing of the arteries due to plaque buildup. Yeah, so folks, go take that stuff. High dose supplement shrinks arterial plaque by 36%. Very interesting stuff.
In lab testing, it broke down 84% of microclots in under 2 hours. But getting that clinical 10,800 FU dose matters. And that's why, folks, look at Black Forest 4-in-1 nattokinase. It pairs that exact dose with serrapeptase, brocanase, and vitamin K2 with no prescription needed. For the next 48 hours only, Black Forest brought back their biggest offer through our link. Buy 2, get 1 free store-wide. Plus, get a free bottle of cocoa flavanols. You won't find this deal on the regular site, so head over to blackforestsupplements.com/untold before the 48 hours run out. That thing killed me to record.
Damn, I got to get on this. I'm getting this stuff. I thought FU was fuck you in the copy. It's on the label apparently. Fuck you.
It is on the label, but I kind of felt like that in having to get the ad copy because I couldn't say half the damn words. And I'm so glad that Joe Rogan is going because I mean NATO kinase or something like that. I'm sitting there. I have a list of phonetic spellings trying to figure this
I'm
out.
having a bowl of NATO right after the show, Japanese NATO. Delicious fruit. Put it in a bowl. Just gobble it up. Never heard of it in my life, but apparently it works.
Oh, apparently that's part of it. Yeah. I mean, it's fermentation. Well, we know that fermentation's got to be good because I guess Bobby Kennedy walks around with like buckets of sauerkraut wherever he goes. He loves his fermented food.
Yeah.
So,
sauerkraut's good.
I don't know. It could be there. But anyway, super glad to have them back as a sponsor again. And I thought, it's directly on point. This is literally combating the stupid thing that we cannot say out loud on platform.
What's that? What?
That stuff.
The injection you're talking about? Or?
Yeah, certain injections. Yeah.
Still? I thought that was
I don't mess with it. And I believe me, I'm going to be re-releasing some of our shows that have been, I discovered, demonetized. Like Sidney Gottlieb.
Yeah, it had to be.
You're making fun of certain things. So
making fun. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, there's so many.
I like when they go back in history, like they have nothing else to fucking do, these pieces of shit, but go through some channel's library and see what else they can come up with.
Yeah.
History is not going to judge them well. Eventually they're going to be overturned, and history is not going to judge them well.
One can hope.
There was some guy who's a conservative school teacher. He was commenting in the comment section, and he is a conservative. And they continually demonetize his history lessons on YouTube for his actual students. And because he was commiserating with us, and he said that he's got his own channel, and it's very small, but they do it to him anyway.
He probably gets it worse. Because, I mean, it's like the smaller the channel, the more easily it's, just buried. And it's a challenge. But somebody else who's facing a challenge, but it's of their own making, is Eric Swalwell.
Dude, looks like your dream is coming true. There may be a perp walk here.
Yeah.
Maybe not for this. I mean, I was listening to Jonathan Turley this morning, and he was saying that the grape and exual charges are state charges. He doesn't know where the FBI fits in to that particular part of the narrative, unless they're going full bore, spying and treason, or, something with Fang. But the other charges are like Me Too state kind of charges.
It really is.
In other words, the sexual things are not federal, Eric.
Right. And by the way, notice that you're speaking, and we're so trained to use the code that
I'm doing it for you.
Fruits and vegetables, and
I'm only doing it for you.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that, and
the point stands. I mean, these charges are state level charges, and I'm appreciating that they're going after him, but I just don't know where it goes.
I don't either, and I don't even know why. I mean, you're out of office. You're no longer going to go for governor. Just shut your mouth. Why are you going, oh, yeah, I screwed her?
Oh, that I don't know. But they seized his phones coming off the plane, which where my mind went. They took his phones and computers. Here's where my mind went. You ready?
What?
How do I get an Uber to get out of here? That was the first thing I was thinking. Like, it's the first thing you do when you get off a plane is get an Uber. He doesn't have a cell phone, Eric. What is he going to do? Go up to someone saying, I'm Eric Swalwell. Can I borrow your cell phone? I could have been your governor.
That's a good point.
I know. That's the only thing I was thinking of, because you could get another cell phone when you get home.
This is true. This is true. And it's not like he has staff with him anymore. We can just say, hey, order me an Uber.
It's just him hitting on chicks on the plane and coach.
Wow.
Usually fat chicks. Apparently that's his predilection.
Oof. But by the way, speaking of being able to use your phone and what you can do with it, a giant has finally fallen. I don't know. Do you use Apple Pay? To put stuff at stores?
For Uber, yeah. For Uber.
Okay, for Uber. Well, I use the grocery stores, things like that. Well, Walmart has finally caved. The retailer is rolling out an Apple Pay, and I believe also Android Pay and the other click-to-pay services.
Knock yourself
finally, going to be available after 12 years.
What difference?
Fighting.
To quote Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make? You got to pay the piper when you leave anyway.
Well, I tell you, it makes a big difference when you forget your damn wallet and you're like, oh, I'll just.
That happens to me all the time.
Him.
That happens to me all the time because I'll go out for a hike, not take my wallet, and then go to a store and find out the hard way what they take and what they don't take.
Right. Well, guess what? This is one giant retailer now. It also includes Sam's Club, who is going to accept Apple Pay. It's rolling out over the next year. So everybody definitely check it out. I think you may find it super useful. Even more useful than Mark's internet bill, possibly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Mark needs Apple Pay to pay his internet bill. Oh, there he is. So anyway, we've been talking about flock cameras, and I had to pull this story just because it's funny. Let me put it that way. This is a meeting, a public safety meeting in San Diego, and guess who is attending?
The Emperor is a fan of flock, and we must continue utilizing flock
Look at the woman
technology
back here in the
so
third
that we
row.
can follow and
She's not even
surveil the
fazed by
rebel
it.
scum as they move from playground to playground, from
That came
playground
from
to pool,
Comic-Con.
from pool to gymnasium, because we all know that the flock cameras are not only following the license plate readers, they are following children. They are following children in parks and gymnasiums, and we need this. I need this so I can stalk my ex-girlfriend. Also, it should be known that the people of this town, the pools that want their storm drains cleared, they should not have their storm drains cleared. Because in order to do that, we will have to raise taxes. And how will the people...
Anyway, this is a new one, having a Darth Vader crashing the hearing to talk about flock. And yes, of course, the Empire would like flock.
Across the street from this, by the way, is Comic-Con. So I'm not even kidding. He may have just literally rolled out a Comic-Con. If you know San Diego, that's kind of where it came from, I think.
It could be. It could be. And your microphone flipped again. I don't know what's going on.
What else do you have that's newsworthy?
Okay. Well, continuing on the flock bent, we had a Tennessee commissioner talking to the flock rep saying, quite frankly, sir, I don't think we can make America great again without, and I think he's saying an effigy, just to clarify, without hanging your CEO publicly for treason. So,
whoa,
that's not going super well. But I noticed that NPR even has jumped on board and is noticing that there's a pushback hard against flock right now. So this story is growing and growing and growing, and I don't think it's partisan. I think this one is, both sides, quote unquote, are agreeing with this. No. Anyway, well, I will keep following it. If Luke or somebody else were to testify, I'll definitely be all over that.
Luke Skywalker?
Yes. All right. And now this is kind of a obviously a more serious story here, but have you been following this? ISIS-linked New Yorker caught plotting to blow up the state capitol, wanting to attack the White House, Times Square, and a New Year's Eve bash.
I always take away the same story. Fat, stupid chick entrapped by the FBI. It's always been my takeaway on all these.
All right. Well, she does. I don't know if I was going to say she kind of resembles that one who mailed was it anthrax? The woman who mailed that in, anthrax or whatever?
That I don't know, but most of these are FBI entrapments, and they're legal if you take the bait. So, but it's not like they busted up some spy ring. This is good for public discourse and to show that they're on the job. But I have my doubts that this was not a very sophisticated plot.
Well, obviously they're going to capture the easier ones for sure.
No, I'm alleging that they created this.
Okay.
I'm only going by what they've done in the past.
I understand. I'm going to push back a little bit. And
Go
say,
ahead,
so,
knock yourself
so
out.
every
This
person that's
this
arrested
fat
is
chick in a
obviously a
burqa.
setup or a stage. Is that
Excuse
the
me?
thought?
You will see that they have people inside who are working with the FBI on this story.
Okay. Well, that could be.
Again, it's legal, so I it's just not an exciting kind of thing. The kidnap of Governor Whitmer in Michigan was the same thing. You go all the way down the line. It goes back to the 70s. You know, it goes back all the way. But it gets headlines, which is why they do it. Which is also okay. I'm just saying, if she did get a good lawyer, which I doubt she will, they would say entrapment.
Okay. So, I'm just saying. I understand that, and obviously Whitmer, that was a case of that. There's a huge problem with January 6th. There's ties with Oklahoma City. There's a long,
a long history. It's a long history of it. I read
there are actual cases too. So.
There were assets in her group. I already read that she had they had FBI assets inside next to her.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'll still, it's still legal, so I don't mind them entrapping someone like that. But
I do mind entrapment. I mean, that's
it depends what side of the street you're on. And one is a plot, and the other side says it's entrapment. You can both sides say the opposite. So,
well, entrapment is a legal definition.
No, I agree.
There is actual laws.
Her lawyer will scream entrapment. The prosecution will say, no, she had this plot, A, B, C, and D, and then blah, 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 and then they'll fight it out.
All right. Now, Scott said, did Walmart set her up to buy that stuff? Well, that was Home Depot.
Dude, let me tell you something. That was Home Depot, by the way. But shopping in that burqa can't be easy in many states in the summer with the heat wave.
I don't know. If you want to go vote, they'll come home.
Oh, by the way, that guy, what's his name? We were talking about who wore the burqa to
Cam Higbee.
Higbee has been banned. His accounts
TikTok.
have been removed from Instagram and TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew he got banned from TikTok. I didn't know about Instagram.
Yeah, because he did that, he has to be banned.
I'm not surprised.
Somebody's getting banned up in Alaska because they went after Murkowski up there now, James O'Keefe, this week.
Yes. And she is not a happy camper. Who was it? Somebody else was nailed too, but you know what? I'm going to pause here and have a little bit of comic relief.
Oh, that's good.
Because I think it's time. And while we're talking about entrapment and the police, I want to show you some law enforcement in action from England.
Things from England with Scott Muni Friday, WNEW-FM. Oh, one of these. Boy, oh boy, these never stop ending. They just keep doing them, Eric.
Oh yeah, well this is the English. They're going to be busting in this house. Okay, they're on the case.
Does she have a rod? She's breaking down the door there.
Yeah. It's a major bust going on here.
Okay,
when you pull out a battering ram, something's going down, right?
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
What's this guy doing in the foreground there?
I don't know.
He's just smashing their fence. He's just smashing their fence to pieces there.
What he's not doing is getting the door open. Neither is she.
That's just bloody tricky. I wish Eric Idle was in this video.
Meanwhile, they're walking out the back door.
Yeah. Let me do this. Let me help. A crowd is starting to form now.
Yes.
This is not good. Yeah. Looks like a heavy door.
Okay. But the sense of urgency is just overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, this is over a post she put on TikTok.
Oh, I'm sure.
They brought the SWAT team in because she posted something about cats on TikTok. They don't get it. This ain't coming. This door ain't coming apart. Better get the bloody grenades. Get the grenades. Let's go. Come on out. We're trying to break your door down. Surrender.
Call a locksmith. Billy Flash says in the chat.
What does he have? A saw now? A sawzall?
I don't know.
Oh, he's just.
Oh no, he's
yeah.
I'll show you.
What does he keep waiting? Like the store is going to blow open or something?
He's tired.
Oh, okay. He's taking a break
you know?
on the reps. Anybody want to have a shake at this? Oh.
Hey! All right.
Hey, everybody in. Let's go. Everybody in. 3 girls. Come on, girls. Let's get in there. We know you're in there. Let's get these girls in for tea. Boy, these people should just be ashamed of themselves. These stupid fucking British police. What the fuck? What happened to Scotland Yard? Remember we were growing up? Scotland Yard was the epitome of FBI style stuff. The Interpol, Scotland Yard, and the FBI were the 3 big things.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the phrase Scotland Yard, I think, in 10 years. When was the last time you heard anything about Scotland Yard?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because they probably have been neutered by the Marxists who run the UK.
Well, I mean, they're busy investigating those tweets.
Yeah.
I don't even know. That's a good sign. Maybe they're actually doing their job quietly and just keeping their head down and not.
Well, I mean, they used to have these high-profile cases and arrests with
sure.
jewelry thieves and art thieves, and I have not heard about one of them in a decade.
No. I
that used to be their bailiwick with these high-profile heists, you know. But now I think I haven't heard anything in years.
Right, and not only
the heist. I've heard about the heist. I've heard about people robbing jewelry stores in London and bringing a crane and leaving it there, you know. But that
was Paris, I think.
Oh, right, but I'm saying I haven't heard anything about Scotland Yard dealing with this.
I haven't either, and yes, you are right. There was a time they were legendary, for murders, and, you know, other crimes,
everything,
and even with Consult here, like that they had cutting edge forensic tactics.
We had an FBI sub office in their office. I don't know if we still have it, but we had an office and a couple of agents assigned to London.
Yes, we at a minimum have an FBI presence in our embassy because I've interviewed a lot of them. So while we have CIA overseas, we also have FBI because CIA is technically not law enforcement and are not supposed to be arresting citizens or whatever. So there has to be an FBI person in residence at the embassy. And when they pick somebody up local, the local authorities of the country will pick them up and then hand it over to the FBI person who will, take them out. So I don't know. It's interesting procedure. I think you sent me this one. HHS cites a $50 million potential insurance fraud for sex rejecting procedures for minor.
I don't remember this, but okay, let's roll with this. 50 million.
Well, this is They have discovered, the HHS has discovered that they're using a particular code.
Oh, weird.
In order to get insurance to pay
to get reimbursed, you mean? Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's like endocrinal care or so, like some vague, like other term that they're using. And they've been, sneaking out all kinds of, gender affirming.
Well, my favorite thing is these anti-trans people who are protesting outside the WNBA games around the country now, fighting with trannies. This is the greatest battle of all time. They just regular Americans and parents are there with T-shirts on and professionally made signs saying keep men out of women's sports, and they're protesting outside the WNBA games. And they're counter protests by trans people or trans activists, and it's been leading to some physical confrontations. I couldn't support this more than I already am.
Oh yeah, and it is it is funny too. Like we have NBA players. I think I had a clip, but I don't. It's buried. Showing up at the games with the wigs on, everything, like, I'm here to declare, and there's this one where like the security guard's just looking at him and trying to hold a straight face, and just finally just starts busting up
Well, they're
laughing.
going to get sued because they're banning people with X chromosomes on their T-shirt, the double X, and they've already lawyered up the people who have been thrown out for simply wearing a T-shirt with two X's on it. This is not going to go well for the WNBA. The first thing they got to do is stop digging. So they got to stop digging, because they're in a hole so fucking deep that they don't know when to get out. These statements by these coaches, of these teams, are so insane as to be. In other words, they're not basically political people. So they're issuing press conference statements during a press conference after a game that we all have to follow love and not hate, and these flowery, insane prose that they're speaking make them sound even crazier, Eric.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. They are completely.
I mean, what part of women's sports for women only can they not get their minds around? Like, all they have to say is, this is a women's sport. It's a women's basketball league. We support women, Title IX in all sports. End of story. They are twisting themselves into incredible pretzel knots because they can't do it. The WNBA, and I'll say this right now, is the number one wokest sports league in American history. The NBA is second, but the WNBA, which was spawned out of the NBA, is the wokest sports organization in the world. There is no issue that they don't feel uncomfortable discussing in the woke universe, instead of sticking to basketball, is what I mean. And race and DEI and intersectionality and everything else that goes with it, Eric. I've never heard a league so fucking woke where they just don't shut the fuck up and say, it's a basketball league for women. Have a nice day.
I agree. I totally agree. But some people are pointing out, and hopefully this clip will show it as well, that perhaps it's too late. Maybe there already are trans athletes in the WNBA. Not saying it for sure. This is obviously a woman, obviously, but
never going overseas to play again unless I'm representing my country at the Olympics. If I make that team, that would be the only time I would leave the U.S. soil, and that's just to represent the USA. I'll say this,
this is Brittany Griner.
A lot of us go over, it's the pay gap.
I just want to add that I think her voice has been altered, because I've heard her speak before, and it's a higher voice.
Okay, well, I've got multiple clips of.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, she's not a man at all. I mean, she has a long history that's been traceable, just like. I know this is difficult for people to understand. Michelle Obama is a woman. I know it's hard to accept, but I have to tell you, Michelle Obama is a woman, and is Griner also.
Okay, well,
I'm just surprised there's not trans players in the league. And that was my surprise. But when this whole thing got started, because there are, I'm sure there's trans people who play basketball somewhere.
I'm sure there are, and there are, by the way, topless shots of Reiner out there and things like that too. So, and while you're defending who is a woman, I'm going to say that the French first lady is probably a woman.
Really? That's a stretch. Really?
I don't know. Candace says it's not true.
They're all women. Let's just stop that already.
I honestly, the Briner one, I think, is the most eye-opening, and it may not even be, it couldn't even be that. It could be an effect of substances that are taken to increase strength.
Could be,
like that.
Could be testosterone. She could be a really butch lesbian with a deep voice, which is probably likely.
It could be. It absolutely could be. All right.
I'll tell you, Sophie Cunningham is a woman, though. I'll tell you that right now. I like watching her.
Okay. Now, I saw this headline and story, and this is remarkable because you know that the New York Times has been sued many times for defamation, and it's like a lost cause. Nobody beats the New York Times.
Well, it's not the New York Times. It's the Sullivan Act where they won that case, the New York Times versus Sullivan, the origin of it legally. But you're correct. You're correct.
They have not lost in 50 years.
Because of the Sullivan case. Yeah. Which should be overturned.
Until now.
Yeah.
They just lost. They lost a defamation suit, and they're ordered to pay $9.25 million to a former Alabama basketball player. Apparently,
I hope this keeps going up the ladder so they can overturn the Sullivan Act officially. You know what I mean, Eric?
I hope so too. And it sounds like because the case was tried in Alabama, that caused them issues.
Yeah.
But they kind of deserve it in this because they associated this freshman player with a shooting, a fatal shooting. And they're like, oh, he was in the car and in that shooting. And they never bothered to actually straighten it out. They did put like an editorial thing on the end when they got pushback, like further, but they didn't adjust the story itself to reflect it or anything. And ultimately, they've now lost $9.5 million.
At that level. At that level.
Well, I mean, yes, there is obviously going to be, I'm sure, an appeal, but it is good to see. I mean, that they're not impervious. And while we're talking about lawsuits, you might be happy to see this one. This is an appeal. The court has slashed the $50 million judgment against Alex Jones about Sandy Hook from $50 million to $1.5 million, which is a significant drop. So here's a clip.
A Texas appeals court has significantly slashed the damages families can collect against Alex Jones for his false claims about the Sandy Hook school shooting. The judgment dropped the amount from $50 million down to $1.5 million. Parents Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, whose 6-year-old son Jesse was killed in the 2012 Newtown massacre, had sued Jones. Jones had been found liable for damages for claiming the mass shooting didn't happen. The court ruled they didn't present enough evidence of harassment to exceed Texas's $750,000 damages cap. The decision does not change the separate $1.4 billion judgment against Jones in Connecticut.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's got a better standing in Texas with his own people there, but the other thing is really the killer.
It might be, but I mean, every one of them do help, and now there's precedent on the one, and the others may go down line. But anyway, I have this story. I don't know if it's in your state.
Wait a minute. What are you trying to say?
It's your state. So that's all I have to say is it's your state. And we already know it's going to be something ridiculous. But California regulators approved new rules limiting what replacement tires you can buy for your car.
Yeah, it's a weird story. Everybody's going crazy about this story here. It's really that the EVs, this is really, it's a complicated story because the EVs that they forced upon the California drivers chew up their tires faster than a regular car. And in addition to that, they have seen a significant drop in their cocaine gas tax that they live off of because the vehicles are now electric. So there's been a drop in their bucket of money, Eric, and this is the way that they have come to a conclusion to make up for the loss in gas revenue taxes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And by the way, you brought up a tax thing, and that's something that I'm facing now. And then I was talking to Nate, who has a Tesla, and that he's facing. I have to pay a property tax penalty for my car because it's a hybrid. It's not even an EV. It's just a hybrid.
Yeah.
And apparently I have to pay more of a property tax because I'm not paying as much in gasoline taxes.
Yeah, it's a similar theory. Yeah.
Now, Nate explained to me that in Texas, they're calling it the fair share tax. And their justification is that they use the gas taxes to do road repairs and road construction. And if you're not paying on that, then you've got to pay for it one way or another.
That's their bullshit story. The reality of it is the electric vehicles have led to a decrease in gasoline, which leads to a decrease in the gas tax. And they're trying to make it up. So they're coming up with mumbo jumbo. The bullshit story that is that their explanation. The real truth is the loss of gas tax revenue.
Sure.
As the motivation, which they could simply come out and say it.
I like Texas. At least Texas put a good little spin on that, saying, "Hey, we're losing the tax revenue, which we do use for fixing the roads. You drive on the roads, you should have to pay."
Yeah, that's their logic of selling it. Is all I'm saying. That's like a sales technique. But there's the people with the tires in the tire business are flipping out because they are going to tax the shit out of tires now.
Oh, I believe it. And then they say that only certain ones can sell. And let me guess, those are probably tires that'll wear out in 20,000 miles versus 40,000 miles or whatever. They're probably weaker tires.
Look, it's a multifaceted war on cars. They have raised the registration fee from $180 to $800 to register your car in Sacramento every year. It is a multiple assault, and this is just part of the new weaponry they're using, the tires now.
All right, Scott H is saying, drive to Arizona for new tires. I'm sure that many people will. And how many things do you drive to Arizona for now, across the state line?
Eventually, you have to move there, I guess.
Yeah, or move somewhere closer to the border. So Nevada and Arizona, thank you, California. Because they're getting business.
Where's he going? To Needles, I think. Adam Carolla. He's building a house in Needles, which is pretty close to the border, or he's on the other side of Needles.
I don't know. I haven't.
He's built a home an inch over the California border in Nevada.
Okay, that's fine. Now, isn't Reno just right across the border, or am I completely mixed up?
It's further in, but he's literally an inch over the border from what the map showed. I think he's building the home from scratch.
Oh, I'm sure he is. He is. I lived in Barstow for a bit because I was stationed at Fort Irwin, and I know right across the border there was a place there in Nevada where they had Bonnie and Clyde's car and all kinds of
weird.
Is it Harumph or
Harumph?
I don't know.
It's Harumph.
Okay, maybe that's it. Is he near that?
No, I'm sorry, I can't disclose where he is.
Okay,
he told me not to say anything. I depend on you
for geography.
I'm sorry, he told me not to say anything, so I have to abide by the code of silence.
I see. Well, he's not going to be doing a lot of in-person work unless they're supposed to be driving to the studio. And
well, he could go to, like you said, he can go to Tahoe, and they have nightclubs there, Vegas. I think that's what he's thinking.
Yeah, whatever. Good luck. He's got plenty of money. He can do what he wants. Now this one I believe you did send me, but good news, I guess. Trump's handpicked DeSantis successor wins crowded GOP primary for Florida governor. That's Byron Daniels.
Yeah, no, I like Byron Daniels. Everybody likes Byron Daniels except for one guy, and that's Ron DeSantis. And he refused to endorse Byron Daniels. He refused to find a successor for himself, which is really odd for such a high-profile governor of the state of Florida. So Byron Daniels, who will win, he's running against a guy who switched parties from Republican to Democrat recently. So I predicted a victory by Byron Donalds, and he's a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's a good congressman, and he's running against David Jolly. That's the cat. Kind of like Chris, who switched parties to try to, after losing the primary, switch to the other side. But it's just odd that DeSantis did not have a successor, Eric. A handpicked successor is usually the case.
Yeah, I don't.
He didn't have a handpicked successor, and he didn't endorse either candidate.
I mean, well, maybe
it's a little weird.
Well, it could. It's probably something personal. He probably hates the guy's guts, or there's something between them.
Oh no, yes, absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
no, but he didn't actually pick anybody either, so he just stayed the hell out of it. And I'm sure Trump gave him a phone call and said, "Okay, I know you don't like him, but just shut up." And so DeSantis just didn't do anything, and stayed on the side because he could have.
But I'm saying he normally they build up their successor, whether it's lieutenant governor or whoever has similar policies. He is just getting out, lock, stock, and two smoking barrels. I mean, Donald has no connection to him, and I don't know what influence he'll ever have in the state again, Eric.
I'm not sure, and Donald's also was not a state guy. He was a congressman, so he's more of a national presence than a state presence. So they didn't cross paths.
Well, he's a state president. He's state presence now.
Well, assuming he wins the election for governor too. I don't know who the Democrat is.
He's definitely going to win. It's this guy, David Jolly. That's what I was trying to tell you. Who just became a Democrat 5 minutes ago. He was a Republican.
All right. Well, we'll find out. All right. This is a follow-up on the teacher, who went viral on, social media. I don't know if it was Instagram or what it was, about the students who couldn't read. A UC Berkeley math professor says she has to teach fractions to calculus students because standards have fallen so far.
Right. I saw that. Yeah.
Now, apparently one of the worst schools in the nation is like one of the top feeder schools into Berkeley in California. So they recruit from certain schools that are not performing very well either. And it fits right on track. But I thought you might find that interesting that others are starting to come forward and say, hey, this definitely is a big issue.
Well, we'll see what happens to her. I mean, she's in a much more vulnerable place. He was in Houston. She's in the belly of the beast at Berkeley.
Well, if she has tenure, they may not be able to do shit about it. So
they can send her emails 24/7 that they're going to grape and do things to her. So tenure is not the protecting umbrella that she will save her.
Okay, well,
they're quite vicious up there. I mean, the tenure is not going to
today.
No, I'm just telling you the truth.
All right.
She will be inundated and it's on social media and physically. It's UC Berkeley, Eric.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But I do know that. UC Berkeley is where Ben Shapiro, couldn't go on. I know about their politics, but I know that at least legally speaking, the tenure is quite a bit of protection. Now, if they do, harass her or something, then that's another question. I don't know. Or they'd have to pay her off, but I don't know. Anyway, well, let's just jump to this story. California bill seeks to ban sale of unicorns, glowing pets, and other gene-edited pets.
Weird.
So,
is that an escaped unicorn from the zoo?
Yeah, right. Yes, it's from the zoo, a unicorn. Assembly Bill 1382, known as the Ethics Over Aesthetics Act, stalled in the Senate Appropriations Committee last week and was held under submission, halting it from advancing further during the legislative session. So, anyway, I guess it's a gene editing bill.
What they're working on animals to mate them into the island of Dr. Moreau, or?
Well, I think somebody took it to the ludicrous level, but they're obviously doing genetic modification for, as they put it, hypoallergenic cats and dogs. I know for sure that's a big one. Glow in the dark rabbits, hadn't heard of that.
Hadn't heard of that one.
That's an unusual one. And then real life unicorns. Well,
What do they extend the dog's tongue on this one? What happened to him?
I think that's called that's a stock photo, Mark.
Oh. No, these aren't the real animals, you're saying?
No, this is Sasa stock.adobe.com.
I can't see that small.
And
this cat has his head on backwards. You tell me.
Right. This is a stock photo from.
Do they have any real photos of their work? Are these the glow in the dark?
No, they are not. These are stock photos, Mark. I'm sorry to disappoint. Now, this is a real unicorn. No, I'm kidding. Right. That's a stock photo too.
of a real unicorn. It's just it
looks like a stock photo of a horse that somebody painted in a freaking horn.
I got a lovely story for you. Apparently, the Luigi Mangione is having a stylist do a complete makeover on him when he goes to trial at the state level, and it's Mark Jacobs, who is a major designer who has a tattoo on his left arm that he got after he went to Passages. Let me correct that. Chris Prentice's place as a drug addict, and he tattooed himself with the tattoo, which was their motto there. And Mark Jacobs he may have lost his company, he's had multiple relapses, huge designer. And now we'll be designing a makeover for a convicted murderer.
Well, good news. I mean, Luigi actually, unlike the Reiner kid who's struggling getting his money, Nick Reiner, Luigi is going to have the money to do it because he's able to rack in his Gibson Go money.
Yeah.
They're not shutting it down.
Wow, and that's nice of Gibson Go to actually do that to a killer.
In fairness, I don't know if you remember the whole Rittenhouse situation where Rittenhouse raised a giant GoFundMe, and GoFundMe shut it down, and then they tried to re-divert the money to supposed charities, which eventually, lawyers, everybody got involved and said, oh, you can't be doing that. You're taking people's money and redirecting it. So they instead refunded it. That's what created Gibson Go, or it brought them into prominence. I don't know if they already existed.
Yeah.
It was during Rittenhouse, and they're much more like it's their money. They raised it. There you go. So
but apparently they have no rules about serial killers or murderers or assassins in their bylaws.
I don't.
They just say anybody can raise money based on anything.
I don't know. I haven't read their bylaws, but I'm just telling you the history of it. So there is another side to it. The fact he's been convicted, I think, is the problem. Because he's been convicted of it, then they should probably refund it or not allow that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Versus while he was accused.
Right.
But
exactly.
I am.
This is post conviction. I'm assuming this article.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really bizarre.
Yes. Their claim is that it was created to cover his legal defense costs. So,
okay. Right.
And I guess technically speaking, if that money went immediately to the lawyers or whatever, even though he's been convicted, it would probably still be fair if it was raised in that time period. But I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just pointing out the story. Now, unfortunately, in my state, I don't know if you saw this story. There was an individual who was acquitted by insanity. Okay, so
that's crazy.
He was found insane for murdering his landlord. And because he was found insane, he needed to get some sort of help. And I guess they're a nice liberal system now. Virginia man acquitted by insanity in killing flees U.S. during 48-hour mental hospital pass.
Gee, what a plot twist that was.
Yeah, so he...
How did he flee? Did he have a passport?
He jumped right onto a one-way flight to Tajikistan.
Right, because that's where I like to go with no extradition treaty. Don't you have to show some ID to get on, jumping on it to a one-way flight? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, how do you jump onto first of all, how do you pronounce the guy's name? Look at that thing, Eric.
Well, I had trouble with the country too.
Yeah,
Tajikistan too. But Tosh Zoda. There we go, I guess. Anyway, I'm blown away. I mean, this is just showing so many problems in the system. Like, I understand he is found not guilty by reason of insanity, which would mean he is going to get medical treatment. He is in a secure facility where they give treatment. If he has to seek other treatment, you're giving him a pass? Oh, okay. Well, now, Bill, just go ahead. We'll see you back in 48 hours. You're asking for him to flee the country.
Again, I don't know how he physically fled the country, is my point. Well, he just showed up with his active passport and said, I'm going to Turkmenistan. Have a nice day. Where did he get the money to even buy the ticket? It must be a fortune for that ticket. One way.
I'm sure it is. And I'm sure something had to be greased. But my question is that I don't know that I showed my passport when I left the country. I know I had to show it when I arrived in like Iceland and England, but I don't recall. And you know,
right. But normally they take away your passport in cases of an international criminal. Even domestic criminals will take away your passport so you don't flee.
Well, one would hope, yeah. I guess Tajikistan might just say, "Hey, no passport needed. How you doing?" Oh, yeah. So
right.
I don't know. I have no idea what their rules are on that, but it is bonkers. I saw this story earlier, and this one's kind of this might as well be a Hallmark movie or a movie of the week or something. Car salesman becomes Belgian prince at 26 after being recognized as secret son of king's brother.
Telephone for Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, telephone.
It literally is a movie, dude. This guy is a Belgian prince now. The kid on the guy.
What do you get
right.
with that? You get waffles with that? I mean, what's your, you get
apparently
land?
He is not in line for the throne at the moment, but I guess he is getting potentially a piece of the inheritance.
Wow.
And Belgian's Prince Laurent legally recognized him and said, yeah, that's my kid. So now all of a sudden he goes from a car salesman to a prince.
Is that his mother, the Queen of Belgium?
That's his mother. She's a Belgian singer and socialite, Wendy van Wanten, whom he dated in the 90s. So bonkers. And that's his dad with her. And the DNA 99.5% match seems close enough. And that's Princess Claire and Prince Laurent at their wedding. So anyway, that's kind of an oddball happy ending story, but I'm all for it. Now back to your state again. And unfortunately, my state, I can pass the headline right now. I don't have the story pulled up.
Right.
My idiot governor just signed in a bill.
That's the name of your documentary, My Idiot Governor.
Well, I'm not going to call her what my wife does, or the video be taken down. But anyway, we're not fans, but she did sign in the bill that is tying Virginia over to the popular vote in the next election. So now Virginia is one of the 18 states, and they have 220, I believe, or 222 electoral votes. They've got to get to over the 270 for it to potentially take hold, but I think it's still going to be a problem because it's in the Constitution having the Electoral College, and they're literally trying to, go around the Constitution.
I think she'll be overturned on that one.
That if that law was in place, then Donald Trump would have won Virginia.
They don't care about irony, bro. They just they'll flip it back when they're done with it in the next election.
I know.
Dude, all these things that like trying to get rid of the filibuster rule or packing the Supreme Court or whatever, it goes away the second they get back in power. All of a sudden, everything's groovy.
Oh, you mean like election integrity?
Yeah. Like a most perfect election of all time.
Exactly. When the correct side wins, then
It's funny.
it's a
I was
great
just saying
election.
this morning to someone that these 80-20 issues, like men and women's sports and voter ID, as you said, like bipartisan issues that have 80-20, sometimes 85-15 polling
Sure.
numbers, in the media, it's the reverse. They decide that they are 85% in favor of the opposite of the American public. That is a little weird. That is a little weird.
I agree. And I don't even
And that's
know
our ruling class. They decide, apparently they're impervious to actual numbers of the American people. I mean, how many people have said that this number, the 80-20 or 85-15 for voter ID, they don't give a shit. They just call it voter suppression and racist and move on.
Yeah. By the way, not only the mainstream media, but also the entire university structure. So who kind of feed into the media, because all the media people have degrees from.
Well, they also intern there when they get out and work their way up the ladder, but it is startling that in issues that are so bipartisan, they still won't budge an inch on these major issues.
No. But then again, what do you think they really feel about normal citizens?
They hate their guts.
The 80% are morons.
Right.
They
I'm
think
saying
that they all live in
these are
flyover
the
country.
the elites, and this is how they rule the country. A stake has to be driven into their hearts. There has to be things where they're sued, and then in discovery, these things come out. And Trump has done a good job of it, going after the BBC, going after the New York Times, and has and ABC. He's done a lot of damage to them, but he's not finished.
No, and I think that it needs to go further, because to me, the most important thing would be humiliation.
Yeah.
That, I think, really, don't just say, okay, and then they just hold back and wait for another day to come back. It needs to be humiliating.
Well, I've advocated license revocation here for years. So, I mean, if you did it, you don't have to do it all the time. If you did it one fucking time, the rest of them would be such cowards that they would choke on their words quickly.
Yeah.
You just got to set an example for someone, and they really apparently do not have the balls to do it.
No, well, they are cowards.
They are cowards. They are absolute cowards. I mean, they keep threatening, and Jimmy Kimmel just keeps mocking people to their face. I mean, do something. Do something.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Here's somebody who's doing something. Your city council just voted to hand more parks to the homeless, apparently.
This is a great idea. For 5 years or 4 years, they put up in homeless encampments no camping signs and enforced it, Eric, and did away with these encampments. They voted 10-3 to restore homeless encampments in the district of Nithya Raman. She voted for it as well. She's running for mayor on a I Cleaned Up Homelessness platform, and the removal of the homeless encampment ban is just shattering people's minds out here because of the non-stop war that everyone's been involved in, spending money and trying to deal with homelessness. The city council, who actually runs LA, voted 10-3 to restore homelessness.
Right.
And it was mostly the DSA that was leading this, because, as I said to Spencer Pratt, tweeting yesterday, they have to be visible, the homeless, for it to have an effect that the DSA can use. If you don't see them, their power is diminished. You must see them to show the decay of the society, to justify the DSA's moves. They tear down the rest of society. Having them not visible, Eric, is not good for the socialists.
Okay.
Politically not good. They need them to be visibly there.
Which is just so weird, because to me, I would think that the reverse, or maybe I'm mishearing everything, but I'm wired differently. So I think we're in an upside down world. I think if I see giant problems like that. I'm like, well, see, that's what you get when you have this policy. And
let me give
like,
you a simple answer. Homelessness is caused by capitalism.
Mm-hmm. And I would argue that homelessness is caused by socialism.
You could argue all you want, but
policy.
you're not in power in this one-party state. They believe and have said repeatedly that homelessness is a byproduct of capitalism. Hence, you need socialists to take over the country. If you don't see the homeless, that becomes a tough issue to sell, is all I'm saying.
Which again strains credulity in the sense that which capitalist in this area is doing. It's kind of like saying that all the Baltimore problems are racism when the entire police department is black.
You could make the argument
is black. The mayor is black.
You can make the argument that there's no housing and no apartments, and the rents are on average now $6,000 a month. It's not a bulletproof argument on the other side because of housing shortages and the insane price of rent. There is no place for even kids to go out of their parents' basements. You know, I mean, the average rent in New York is nearly $7,000 a month now. I mean, nobody's got that kind of money.
Okay, and why is it that? Because of the policies that are being, rent control and everything else.
You could argue why it is, but the reality of it is that very few people can afford a place, and especially the homeless. Anyway, they were taking them away, and people thought this problem was being resolved, and the socialists said, not so quick. We need them back out there. All
right. Well, enjoy. I hope you enjoy your scenery, and congratulations.
By the way, they had a crazy debate, the two candidates, and it was so nobody could see it. It was on a webinar Zoom event, and it quickly got overloaded, the webinar, and nobody could see it because it crashed. The two of them conspired to do this, and it was at a Sherman Oaks homeowners association gathering of homeowners who asked them how they feel about being opposed to single family homes. This is a homeowners association. So Rahman and Bass both said they're in favor of high-rise apartment buildings, and the homeowners are just glaring at them, hissing. I mean, it was a fabulous event. It was absolutely fabulous this week.
All right. Were you able to watch the whole debate?
No, I just saw clips.
Okay. I was going to say that's impressive dedication. I'm glad that you're out there.
Well, it would have been nice if it was on an actual channel. Local news. I don't know if that's just too much. That's a bridge too far.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that somebody didn't just stream it on YouTube. But that would be another way around when they try to box it off.
They found out recently, these Spencer Pratt fans, that it's illegal to write in a candidate in the November mayoral election because they were putting together a write-in campaign. And, maybe it obviously wouldn't win, but at least you make a statement. Mm-hmm. Not here anymore. They did away with it.
I would hope that somebody sue over that, because I have a feeling that one is probably suable.
Well,
because ultimately it's the ultimate, end point. It's like, you can't get a party registered. You can't do this. And the ultimate thing is, well, you could write in.
Well, there's no place to write it in. You have to physically think about it. Mm-hmm. Where there's nothing there. There's no, right. And I looked at it at the primary, and it said on the bottom, only approved candidates can be written in, and it doesn't even say who they are. So you're just in the booth going, who? I don't know.
Wow. Well, you're one party state. Enjoy.
That's a good answer.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to say?
Have a little empathy, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, well, you're so empathetic tonight that it's running out of my pores for you. Anyway, moving on, we've got, while we're talking about education, I thought this was pretty funny. Harvard professor slammed for using AI to write anti-Trump op-ed.
Brilliant.
I've seen.
Wow.
So this professor,
Why couldn't he write it? Of course, Harvard, yeah.
He's the former Venezuelan government minister, Ricardo Hausman.
He ends up being a Harvard professor?
Yes. And he wrote in the Financial Times using AI, and it was so obviously AI that Financial Times actually has put a blurb on it saying, "It has come to our attention
God.
AI was used to condense a larger draft of this column prior to submission to the FT and our own editorial involvement."
Oh my God.
So, and they continue. The FT editorial code of conduct specifically prohibits the use of AI in the writing process, but it's still there.
Okay. We're make an exception.
Anyway, so that I think is what a perfect statement for this type of thing.
I'd like to know how the guy got a job at Harvard after working in the Venezuelan government.
Maybe that was his qualification.
Yeah, to get in.
All right. Well, we've been trying to figure out the mystery of, what's going on with Tucker, Megyn Kelly, this and that, everybody else. And consider the source. The New York Times obviously is not the best source in the world for it, but, it is out there and is well read. The MAGA media machine is fractured. Now,
well, that's true.
They at least have backed it up with numbers, and some charts to look at this.
Fascinating.
And it is showing how, once united in the support of Trump, and it was, through 2024, big party, everything, yay. Everything is plummeting and fracturing. And they show the YouTube views and the, X views, etc., of how it's cratering for the support. And then if you look at this list here, weekly YouTube views, like Benny Johnson actually has come out pretty good. He's still on top here and has held on, but you could see that, it's 18.4 here versus his peak of 31.2. So that's a loss of like 40% of his audience over this time period from early 2025. You can see Tucker Carlson has been sneaking along, and he's been kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down. This is a very tricky chart to show. I'm trying to.
Well, the Megyn Kelly thing is down there now, right?
Megyn Kelly is.
And so is they're all come from a giant
Megyn
mountain.
is here 8.8, but you see, look at that.
What was her peak up there on the top, Eric? What was her peak?
Oh, her peak is way up there, 32.4.
And what's it now?
Now it's 8.8. So
wow.
25, almost 75% loss.
Wow.
Let's look down here. Candace Owens, 4.1 million.
What was her peak?
Her peak was 25.7.
Wow. Well, it couldn't happen to more despicable people here.
And Tim Pool has been pretty consistent, let me see how he's. Matt Walsh is fairly, you could see the line is kind of more of a straight line with some of these people. I think Ben Shapiro is being used as an example. Like Ben Shapiro,
that's straight too.
Yeah, but he hasn't changed that much. I mean,
right. Yeah.
If you didn't put a date on it and Ben Shapiro was talking, could you tell me if it was 5 years ago or last week?
No, it's a good point.
Similar.
Good point. No, these are the people who are fucking MAGA, and MAGA is fucking back. And you want to know the real headline is podcasters fucked by MAGA because they have been destroyed by MAGA with the complete collapse of their civilizations. And when you have a 75% drop in your viewership, I think MAGA has spoken.
Yeah, I think so. But it also shows how they're trying to pull in every disaffected audience and everything else. So, like here's Candace's audience across the platforms, and it's showing how Charlie Kirk, look at that spike in the middle there. So she gained that 32 million writing his death. And then now that's finally fading out.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, down, up, down. He's starting to come back out of it. He kind of guttered a bit and he came out of it. And then you've got the weekly views by creator.
Mhm.
Look at Bannon.
What happened to him?
Bannon was 16.6, and he's now down on Rumble at, I can't even find him. He's like in the.
Oh, you just did it. Well, there it is. Oh.
Hang on. There's too many lines.
I know. I saw it for a second.
122.
Oh, there it is. 122,000 from where?
From 16 million, dude.
Oh,
16.6 million.
The biggest collapse in American podcast history.
Hell yeah. I mean, at least Bongino left for the FBI.
Yeah.
And then
he'll rebuild. He'll rebuild.
Well, he's not doing terrible. He came back and he's still down. So he's under half, but give him time. But yeah, something happened with Bannon. Look at the Bannon, 13.3, and then boom, next month, 2.6.
Well, it's because of his positions.
Yeah. So anyway, it's
it's position driven.
I agree. And I'm saying it's grifting. And they're just going and chasing whatever audience because their numbers are collapsing. I don't know which happened first.
Yeah, it's chicken or the egg. It's a chicken or the egg situation. You don't really know.
It could be. I have no knowledge of it, but one of the people who needs to pay attention and watch out for this is our current vice president.
Oh boy. What's he into? He's in Ohio today at his grandfather's workplace or something.
Yeah, he said some crap about this isn't my grandfather's Democrat Party. I'm like, okay. And anyway, so yeah, alarm bells for J.D. Vance. Says devastating new poll has Democrat who swears he's not running, crushing him. So who is the Democrat? Ossoff apparently would kick his ass, which is a very weird situation. I don't know what happened to Mark. I guess he lost his signal. But we have.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, your mic.
This guy Ossoff is unbelievable, Eric.
Yeah, tell me about Ossoff because I keep hearing his name, but I haven't really,
He's the future, apparently.
Really?
He's the future of the Democratic Party, Eric.
Why? Because I mean, is he more moderate, or I just don't know much about his policies.
He is going nowhere. He is stuck with this Pritzker, Shapiro, and Ossoff. These three Democratic could be used for fundraisers. Obviously, the three of them are all Jews, and they cannot be elected to any national ticket.
I see.
Yeah, and Ossoff it comes from a lot of money, just like Pritzker, trust fund kid, and just like Pritzker, he's in Georgia, and they seem to like him now. But he
was one of those two people that there are questions about from 2020, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's sounding like he's a legit candidate potentially, or
yeah, I think so. At least people like what's his name on Two-Way think so. Both Mark and him, the Democratic guy. They both
like him.
Kevin, yeah, they love Ossoff.
All right, what does Larry say about him?
I don't know what Larry's opinion is on Ossoff, but he is a rising star. Let me just leave it at that in the Democratic Party.
Well, I mean, I have to pay because Mark Halperin was going on about how Pete really can do it. Pete can change blacks' minds. He can make them love gay people.
Well, interestingly enough, he has a massive lead, Pete Buttigieg in New Hampshire, over everyone. It's astounding how big the lead is. I mean, Harris is at 7% in New Hampshire, this recent poll that just came out this morning. And that's why they switched the primary to South Carolina so she can win. Again, they're doing it to themselves, but this is really interesting.
Buttigieg win New Hampshire in 2020?
Yeah, he's going to win it again.
Yeah, I mean, so
yeah, he's going to win it again. That's why they moved the first primary out of New Hampshire, so she can win in South Carolina.
Yeah,
It's just astounding. The in public machinations of the DNC are astounding.
yeah, and they're
I mean,
unapologetic.
unapologetic, putting their thumb on the scale in a non-democratic move after another.
Yeah, it's a long story tradition, Mark.
Yeah.
And I think it's really come to show itself since 2008.
Right. Obviously, Bernie getting burned
Yeah.
by them, and then the crazy Biden thing in South Carolina. The next day, everybody withdrawing. I mean, it's just
Including Buttigieg.
including Buttigieg, a complete Soviet Politburo.
Yeah, it's bonkers. All right. Well, you know what? We do need to keep track of our has-been. I hate to say has-been dingbats, but I kind of think of Nancy Mace as sort of a dingbat. Rep. Nancy Mace reveals her new tattoos as she launches a YouTube show after losing her political career.
What else is she going to do? I don't even begrudge her. You know, she has a lot of people who could come on as guests, maybe. You know, what else is she going to do?
Well, yeah, her and Matt Gaetz are
right.
Are going to be competing. Well, she's on YouTube. Well, my favorite though is I meant to share it, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is on Cameo.
Okay.
With people paying her to say, you know, whatever. I mean, how far
they're shameless people. They're shameless people. I mean, you seem to be shocked how shameless they are.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know what the rates are on Cameo, but it's such a easy moneymaker for somebody who's famous for any area of entertainment or show business or politics or anything. That it's almost like, give me the money for, you know, just sending you a message. It's crazy.
I mean, it is a step above OnlyFans, and
right.
You're going to defend OnlyFans.
No, I mean, Gilbert Gottfried was doing Cameo. A lot of people did Cameo simply because it was so freaking easy.
I understand that. I mean, but I'm just saying, Gilbert Gottfried wasn't a congressperson. You know, like going from
right, but she's not any longer.
You know, in there to having to resign to going to Cameo. It's not the most dignified fall ever.
Again, you think dignified has something to do with this? I'm saying
I
these
think
are shameless.
Is a good thing.
What's that?
I think dignity is a good thing.
Oh no, I agree, but these are not dignified people. That's your misnomer.
Oh, obviously.
These are scumbags, and you're like, oh, this is undignified. Not for a douchebag, it's not.
Well, the funny thing is that I said that she was going to go on The View. Turns out I was wrong. They didn't want her.
She was too low.
Yeah. I don't think she got enough ratings.
She was beneath that. Yeah.
So, while we're talking about dingbats, though, ex-Senator Kristen Sinema details repeated sex with her bodyguard in the homewrecker case where the ex-wife wants $75,000.
The ex-wife of the bodyguard?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she had to testify. So apparently in court, Kristen Sinema
was want to talk about someone who looks trans. I mean, take a look at this chick. I always think I can't understand her body. It's like she's got the upper body of a man with tits attached to it and then a woman's face.
Maybe. Anyway, she confessed that she first had sex with Amel, her then bodyguard, around Memorial Day of 2024, 2 years after he began working on her security team.
Mm-hmm. They always go to an Airbnb in Napa Valley. They wherever they go. It's always some Airbnb they retreat to. Yeah,
and this is her guy.
She loved him. Look at her. She's looking at him. What a great guy.
Oh yeah. Scott's agreeing with you, by the way. He said, "Look at those shoulders."
I know. It's crazy. She's always looked like that. And
no
I think
shoulder pads needed.
I think she's bisexual or omnisexual or something.
She is bisexual and has come out saying that. She kind of
Where's the dignity in her? Her you don't mind.
She's a Democrat. They're already undignified. I mean, she's not going around pretending that she's MAGA. She's not going around saying, "Oh, blah 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 blah."
She's pretending she's a United States senator. That's
well, no, she actually was.
I know.
She fit that role perfectly, apparently. So I'm stand by that. Let's see, PBS is having some issues here. Saw this story. PBS station loses 50 terabytes with 70 years of archival footage.
Wow.
After a data storage company shuts down.
That can't be good.
No. And what a horrible, situation here. They've got all the archival footage. They've got it. Everybody pay attention. When you store stuff on the cloud, make sure it's a cloud that's going to be in business tomorrow, or, whatever it is, because this is, I think, the kind of scenario you will run into.
Get hard copies, folks.
Well, definitely get hard copies. And I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but
No.
SSDs, which are more popular now for external storage, make sure you actually use the disk every couple months, at least every year, or they degrade and you will lose your data. The spinning hard drives hold better over time. I didn't realize that, but if SSDs don't have a charge going through them every once in a while, your data could be lost. So just a public service message. Go ahead, Mark.
About what?
Well, you were starting to say something. I thought it was.
No, I didn't say anything.
About physical media or whatever else, but yeah.
No, I just said, have hard copies.
Anyway, and yeah, have hard copies. And then as far as spinning disks or hard drive, I mean, I believe in the principle of one is none and two is one, if you will. So 2 copies is equal to 1 copy. 1 copy is equal to no copies. You could lose it any time. So that I definitely want to do. And this is specifically SSDs that you've got to really watch out for. They're much faster to write to and things like that, but you do have to keep plugging them in every once in a while. Moving on to some super chats from the crowd. Everybody, thank you so much. Richard Kristen gave us a $10 super sticker. Thank you. And in the theme, because we did open talking about beverages and ice and things like that, Dr. Evil is saying, remember the purple cup. That was Mark's famous cup. There's even some t-shirts out there that people have of the cup. Greg, still collect DVDs, CDs, and vinyl. Streamed albums vanish and or certain songs get deleted. Tom Petty's Friendly to Confederates, Rebel song removed from it.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
The Cure, their first album, has the song Killing an Arab scrapped from it. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I had, I have the compact disc because of it. K-Dog 4703. I believe the Commucrates, I don't know what that is, told the DOJ they wouldn't put up resistance if they charged Swalwell. That's what they do with useful idiots when they no longer have any use for them.
Interesting. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Big
I had
Bill.
it cleared. Big Bill.
Big Bill. 767S. Great show. The woman that the FBI arrested for attempted bombing bought her bomb-making material at Home Depot. I love the
It might not have been the top of the line.
Right. I love the store, but somehow missed the bomb-making aisle in the store. It's not on my Home Depot app either. Well,
thanks, Bill.
That's, funny and cute, except that they sell nails and pipes, and people make pipe bombs with nails and pipes and things like that. So it is, it can be done. Charlie FLA, Dem's big tent has become the People's Temple of Jonestown, aka People's Temple DC. At least the Kool-Aid will be sort of free. Leave Kool-Aid alone as Flavor Aid.
Big Tent has become the People's Temple, aka People's Temple of DC. At least the Kool-Aid is sort of free. Okay, that's weird. You're saying there's Jim Jones level people in there? I mean,
there was the cult, obviously, quality of them. But, John McGill said, Mark is crushing it with all the great podcasts. Impressed with how much inside knowledge you reveal, but I'm often left feeling like a gullible fool.
You're
Also
a gullible
glad
fool,
I'm not a
McGill.
Hollywood celeb.
You're lucky you're not a Hollywood celeb, McGill.
I feel, I'm sure he is. I feel lucky I'm not a Hollywood celeb, and I'm doubly lucky that I'm not living in Hollywood. But my governor's doing her best to have us catch up as soon as possible. So it's really, really hard to escape these people and not feel cynical. But to cheer myself up, we are going to head over to another location, and we can't say anything, but hopefully people are going to meet us there. Everybody can check us out, unstructured.locals.com. We have a segment that we do there called Torn from the Headlines, and you don't have to wait for a couple days. You can actually watch it live and see it when it's happening, and we do appreciate it. And Tata Toothy, yeah, thank you. Don't forget your racist attorney general. Thank you. Yes, not only a racist attorney general, but a criminal attorney general, in my opinion, who speeds well over 100 miles an hour and should be in prison for a year, but instead he does community service by working on his PAC. Thank you.
Well, the black gay Democrat from Florida who ran for governor in the last election cycle checked into rehab this week again. So there's a little update on Gillum, I think his name was.
Okay.
He's back in rehab after having numerous orgies, meth-fueled orgies when he was running for governor.
All right. Well, good news. I hope he gets all the help he needs.
And the loss of Vindman was a good story, too, that douchebag
That's
Vindman
true.
lost to a socialist.
Yeah, I'm not happy that a socialist is in the mix, but yeah.
Well, the
whatever.
the Republican running against her is extremely happy.
Good,
in Florida, and was worried about Vindman as an opponent.
Okay, well, I'm just as long as the Republican gets through, I'm thrilled about that. I hate Vindman and I hate socialists. That's one of those that it's like, what do you want to be, stabbed or shot? I don't know. Pick your poison. But we will discuss this later on Locals. Hope to see everybody there.
Whoa.